We live in a world that praises loudness, that rewards quick reactions, constant commentary, and public displays of emotion. We're told that if we're silent, we're either weak, indifferent, or unsure. But silence, real silence, is not the absence of strength. It is the presence of deep understanding. There is something profoundly powerful about choosing not to respond immediately. When we are silent, it doesn't mean we don't feel anything. It means we've decided not to give everything a piece of our energy. We've learned that not every battle is ours to fight, not every opinion needs a rebuttal, and not every insult deserves a reaction. Silence is restraint. It is maturity. It is the space where we reclaim our power before we let it leak into arguments that go nowhere. Some people will mistake your silence for passivity. Let them believe you're unaffected, unaware, or uninterested, because what they can't see is the discipline it takes to not be reactive. They don't see the years it took to learn how to pause before responding. They don't understand the inner strength required to carry hurt quietly, to process emotions internally, to decide deliberately that protecting your peace matters more than being heard by someone who never truly listened. Silence is the language of those who are grounded. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't beg to be right. It doesn't chase validation. It just exists calmly, firmly, fully. And in that stillness, it makes its presence known. It unsettles those who thrive on chaos. It confuses people who expect drama. It leaves space for others to reveal who they are without interference. Because while you're silent, they show their true colors. And you learn, and you grow. To be silent in the face of provocation is not weakness. It is knowing that your reaction is not required to prove your worth. It is understanding that your silence often speaks louder than your defense, that the power of what you don't say often carries more weight than anything you could say. It is rising above, not out of pride, but out of self-respect. It is not shrinking away, it's standing tall, inwardly, without the need to perform your strength for others to see. Silence, when chosen from a place of self-awareness, is not an absence of voice, it's the mastery of it. We often mistake noise for power. We assume that those who speak the most, who take up the most space, who boast and brag and constantly announce their worth, must believe in themselves. But more often than not, the loudest people in the room are the ones still trying to convince themselves they belong there. Real confidence doesn't need an audience. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't even need to be seen. It simply is. True confidence is subtle. It's in the way someone walks into a room without needing to be the center of it. It's in the way they listen more than they speak because they're not desperate to prove their intelligence. They already know who they are. It's in the way they remain composed when others raise their voices because they don't confuse aggression with authority. They know that being louder doesn't make you right. They understand that presence doesn't require performance. Real confidence doesn't broadcast itself. It shows up in moments when no one is watching. It's in the small, quiet decisions that shape a person's integrity. It's how someone treats people who can offer them nothing. It's how they carry themselves when things go wrong. It's how they admit when they don't know something without shame, because they don't see not knowing as weakness. They see it as a chance to grow. They don't wear their pride like a shield. They don't need armor because they're not in battle with anyone. People who are truly confident don't interrupt. They don't dominate conversations to feel seen. They're not easily threatened because someone else's light doesn't dim theirs. They understand the difference between having a voice and using it wisely. Their power lies in restraint, in the ability to walk away from conflict they don't need to win, in the strength to stay grounded when others are flailing for attention, in the choice to speak with intention rather than for validation. Real confidence is rooted in self-awareness. It knows its value, but doesn't scream about it. It doesn't need to wear labels or shout achievements. It doesn't hide behind titles or image. It's steady, unshaken, and most of all, it's quiet, not because it has nothing to say, but because it's already said it in the way it lives, the way it breathes, the way it moves through the world without needing permission. One of the most exhausting emotional habits we have is the constant need to explain ourselves to others, to ourselves, to the world. We feel like we need to justify every decision, every emotion, every action. We feel as though if we can just explain it well enough, others will understand us, accept us, or validate us. But here's the thing. You don't owe anyone an explanation for the choices you make or the way you live your life. The need to explain comes from a deep-seated fear that if we don't defend our actions or our beliefs, people will misunderstand us, judge us, or worse, reject us. But this kind of explanation is often rooted in insecurity, not wisdom. When we feel the compulsion to explain, we're often looking for external validation to feel solid in our own decisions. We believe that if we make others understand, we'll feel understood. But that's an exhausting way to live. Not everyone is going to understand your journey, and that's okay. Your choices aren't for everyone to approve of. Your decisions aren't a public matter to be up for debate or dissection. And the more you explain, the more you invite others into spaces where they have no right to be. The truth is, your reasons don't need to be accepted by anyone other than you. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll release the weight of constant justification. Explaining yourself over and over again is a pattern of self-doubt. It's a sign that you're still seeking permission or approval from others to be who you are and to do what feels right for you. When you explain yourself, you open the door to being misunderstood, misjudged, and questioned. You give others the power to shape your reality based on their limited perspective. But not everyone deserves that kind of access to you, especially when they haven't walked in your shoes. You don't owe anyone a breakdown of why you did what you did or why you chose what you chose. If someone questions you, you don't have to provide a dissertation in response. You don't have to pull out a list of reasons or offer a defense. Simply stating what's true for you calmly and firmly is enough. The strongest people know that their truth doesn't need to be explained, it just needs to be respected. Letting go of the need to explain is an act of self-respect. It's the understanding that your choices are yours to make, your life is yours to live, and the way you navigate the world is not for anyone else to dissect. The moment you stop explaining is the moment you free yourself from the exhausting need to validate your existence to others. You step into a place of deep ownership where you trust your own judgments and stop outsourcing your worth to the opinions of others. When you stop explaining, you stop asking for permission. You stop apologizing for being you. You stop justifying your boundaries and your decisions. You reclaim your time, your energy, and your peace. You recognize that you're worthy not because of how others see you, but because you know who you are and what you stand for. In a world that constantly tries to pull us in different directions, where emotions can rise up in the heat of the moment, there's something profoundly powerful about maintaining control over your emotions. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending they don't exist. It means understanding your emotions, acknowledging them, and choosing how you will respond to them, rather than letting them dictate your actions. It's not about denying yourself the right to feel. It's about cultivating the wisdom to decide when and how those feelings will be expressed. When we don't control our emotions, we give them the power to control us. And when our emotions control us, we lose our ability to act with purpose. We become reactive instead of proactive, responding to situations in a way that might be temporary and fleeting, but ultimately not aligned with who we want to be. Think about it. How many times have you acted in anger, frustration, or hurt, only to look back and realize that your emotional reaction didn't serve you or anyone else involved? Those moments of emotional upheaval often leave us feeling drained, regretful, and out of alignment with our true values. But emotional control isn't about repressing emotions, it's about channeling them. It's the ability to look at a situation, assess it, and choose how to respond in a way that is reflective of your values and your long-term goals, rather than being driven by immediate emotional impulses. Emotional control is the art of not reacting immediately to every trigger, every frustration, or every confrontation that comes your way. It's pausing long enough to decide whether your response will bring you closer to your goals or take you further away from them. When you practice emotional control, you take back your power. You stop handing your emotional state over to external circumstances. People will say things that challenge you. Situations will unfold that threaten your peace. But when you maintain control over your emotions, you refuse to let those external forces determine how you feel or how you behave. You recognize that true power doesn't lie in reacting, it lies in responding with intention. It lies in deciding what is worth your energy and what is not. Emotional control also creates space for clarity. When you aren't emotionally triggered, you can think more clearly. You are not clouded by reactive emotions like anger, jealousy, or resentment. Instead, you can respond thoughtfully from a place of strength and awareness. This clarity allows you to make better decisions, both in the moment and for your future. When your emotions don't overwhelm you, you have the ability to navigate life with a calm presence, grounded in your values and aligned with your true self. In situations where others may lose their composure, emotional control allows you to stay calm and grounded. It gives you the ability to handle conflict with grace and poise, to manage stress with resilience, and to face adversity without losing your sense of self. It's a quiet strength that others may not always notice in the moment, but it commands respect over time. The more you exercise emotional control, the more you build inner strength that doesn't rely on external validation or approval. You begin to realize that your peace is yours to protect and that no one else can take it unless you allow them to. True emotional control is also a form of self-compassion. When we react impulsively to our emotions, we are often hard on ourselves later. We regret what we said. We regret how we handled a situation. And we beat ourselves up for not being the person we want to be in those moments. But when we practice emotional control, we give ourselves permission to be human without shaming ourselves. We acknowledge our feelings, but don't let them define our action. We respond to ourselves with kindness and patience, understanding that the goal is not to be perfect, but to grow and evolve in how we handle ourselves and our emotions. This kind of emotional mastery doesn't come easily. It requires patience, practice, and self-awareness. It's not about being perfect in every moment, but about getting better with every experience. It's about learning how to pause before reacting, how to breathe through the tension, how to let the emotional storm pass without allowing it to leave permanent damage. It's a skill that takes time to cultivate, but once you start to tap into it, you begin to see that you have far more control over your life than you once believed, and that control is power. In the hustle and bustle of life, with its endless distractions, demands, and expectations, there's one thing that can often be overlooked: your peace. It's easy to forget just how vital peace is, especially in a world that is constantly pulling us in different directions. Yet, peace isn't just a luxury or an afterthought. It's the foundation for everything else in your life. When you protect your peace, you create the space to thrive. So when you allow others, circumstances, or negative energy to disrupt that peace, you drain your strength, your clarity, and your ability to move forward with purpose. Protecting your peace means understanding that not everything and everyone is worth your time, your energy, or your emotional investment. It's about recognizing that your peace is a precious resource, one that, once lost, is difficult to regain. It's an internal balance, a state of calm that you cultivate, and one that only you can control. The more you protect it, the more it grows, and the more you are able to face challenges with clarity and resilience. People, situations, and environments can either nurture your peace or rob you of it. There are toxic relationships that drain you emotionally, demanding more than you can give, pulling you into unnecessary drama and conflict. There are environments that breed negativity, stress, and fear. And there are moments when external circumstances threaten to shake your inner calm. When things go wrong, when plans fall apart, or when life takes an unexpected turn. But protecting your peace means understanding that you get to choose what impacts you and what doesn't. It's not about being immune to hardship. It's about how you respond to it. You don't have to engage with every problem, every argument, or every emotionally charged situation that comes your way. Your peace is more important than any fleeting emotion or conflict. It's crucial to recognize the people and circumstances that are draining you. Sometimes this means stepping away from relationships that are toxic, even if they are people you once cared deeply for. It's about realizing that some people are not capable of offering the love, respect, and energy you need to sustain your peace. And it's okay to distance yourself from them. You don't have to explain, justify, or defend yourself. Your peace is a priority, and you have the right to protect it, even if it means letting go of connections that no longer serve your well-being. Protecting your peace also means setting boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. It's about saying no when you need to, even when you feel guilty or pressured. It's about recognizing that your time, your emotional energy, and your mental space are not infinite resources. They are precious, and you have the responsibility to guard them. This could mean taking breaks when you need them, choosing not to engage in conversations that drain you, or even stepping back from social media or news cycles that disturb your mental clarity. Boundaries are the invisible lines that protect your peace, and they are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of strength and self-respect. Sometimes protecting your peace requires inner work. It's not just about external boundaries, but also about how you manage your own thoughts and reactions. When negative thoughts arise, when fear or worry threatens to overtake your mind, it's important to develop the strength to redirect your focus. You are not at the mercy of your thoughts. You have the power to choose what you will dwell on. Practicing mindfulness meditation or simple deep breathing can help you regain control of your inner space. Letting go of self-criticism, perfectionism, and negative self-talk is an important part of this process. The more you nurture a peaceful internal environment, the less external chaos can disturb you. You know, when you make the decision to protect your peace, you become less susceptible to the opinions and actions of others. The need for external validation fades. You no longer look to others for approval or guidance about your worth. You stop allowing criticism, judgment, and negativity to shake you. The power of protecting your peace lies in being able to stand firm in who you are, regardless of what others say or do. You develop a sense of inner strength that is anchored in self-assurance. You understand that your peace is not something that can be taken from you unless you allow it. You are no longer a prisoner to the whims of others or the circumstances of life. You are the keeper of your own serenity. But it's not just about avoiding negativity. Protecting your peace also means actively cultivating positivity. It means surrounding yourself with people, environments, and activities that uplift you, that nurture your spirit, and that feed your soul. It's about choosing to invest in what brings you joy, what helps you grow, and what makes you feel alive. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create an environment of peace, even in the midst of chaos. Your inner world doesn't have to be a reflection of the outer world. You have the ability to shape it. There will always be forces that try to disturb your peace, whether it's the pressures of life, the actions of others, or the unpredictable twists of fate. But the more you prioritize protecting your peace, the less these forces will have power over you. You become less reactive, more composed, and more focused on what truly matters. And when you protect your peace, you give yourself the best chance to live a life that is aligned with your deepest values, desires, and purpose. In a world filled with noise, external and internal, your ability to remain calm is one of the most profound statements you can make. It's a quiet strength that speaks volumes without uttering a single word. In moments of chaos, conflict, or stress, your calm is an anchor. It's a message to everyone around you that no matter what is happening, you are not easily swayed by the turbulence. It tells others that you are in control, not because you need to dominate or force your way, but because you have learned to master your own responses. And in that mastery, you set an example for those who are struggling to find their own sense of balance. Your calm is a reflection of your inner peace. It's not the absence of feeling or emotion, but the understanding that your emotional responses do not have to dictate your behavior. It's the recognition that you have the power to choose your response, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. It's the knowledge that while you can't always control external circumstances, you can control how you react to them. This kind of calm is not passive, it's active and deliberate. It is a conscious decision to remain centered no matter the external circumstances. The message of your calm is loud and clear. I am not a slave to my emotions, I am in control of them. It is an assertion of emotional strength, one that others often find deeply inspiring. When people see you handling pressure with poise and clarity, it can serve as a reminder to them that they too can find their own calm in the storm. Your calm doesn't just benefit you, it has a ripple effect on everyone you come into contact with. When you maintain composure in the face of chaos, it reassures others that it's possible to navigate difficult situations without losing control. It shows them that peace can be found, even in moments of difficulty. And that response, not reaction, is the key to maintaining one's peace. Your calm can also act as a boundary. In a world where everyone has an opinion, where everyone feels the need to share their perspective, your calm becomes a shield. It's an assertion that not every comment, not every piece of drama, not every emotional outburst is something you need to engage with. It's a way of saying that you are not available to be dragged into unnecessary conflict or negativity. When you maintain your composure, it communicates to others that you are not interested in engaging in the noise of the world. Instead, you are focused on what truly matters to you. Furthermore, your calm can be a source of guidance for others. People often look to those around them for cues on how to respond to life's challenges. When you show up calm, composed, and centered, you set a powerful example of resilience. It tells others that despite their fear or uncertainty, it's possible to navigate challenges with grace. Your calm shows them that strength doesn't always have to look loud or forceful. Sometimes the most powerful force in the room is the one who remains quiet, steady, and unwavering in the face of adversity. In moments of tension or conflict, your calm can de-escalate situations. It can bring a sense of grounding to an environment that might otherwise feel chaotic or charged. Think of a time when you've been in a room full of people arguing, frustrated, or upset, and one person's quiet demeanor stood out. It was that person who didn't react, who didn't add fuel to the fire, who created a space where others could feel safe to breathe and reflect. Your calm in those moments becomes a reminder to others that not everything needs to be heightened or made more intense. Sometimes the best way to navigate difficult situations is simply to remain composed. Your calm is also a message to yourself. It's an affirmation of your own growth, your own ability to handle whatever life throws your way. It's a message that through everything you've endured, you've learned to trust in your ability to remain steady. You've learned that your worth is not defined by the intensity of your emotional reactions, but by your ability to remain grounded in the midst of them. When you choose calm, you are choosing to show up as the person you've worked so hard to become. Someone who no longer needs to prove anything, but who simply embodies strength, presence, and self-assurance. This message of calm is a reflection of your emotional intelligence. It's the ability to assess a situation, feel the emotions that arise, and then consciously choose how you will engage. It is a mastery of the self, and it's a skill that is developed over time. The more you practice staying calm, the more natural it becomes. You begin to notice when your emotions start to rise, and you learn how to create space between the stimulus and your reaction. You become less impulsive, more thoughtful, and more capable of responding from a place of wisdom rather than reaction. In the world that often feels overwhelming, your calm is a beacon. It's a message that despite everything that happens outside of you, you remain steady within. It's a message of resilience, of wisdom, and of strength. It's an invitation for others to learn the art of composure, to embrace the power of silence, and to understand that the strongest force is often the quietest. Your calm isn't just a personal quality, it's a message to the world that peace is possible, even in the most challenging times. In a world that often thrives on chaos, noise, and external validation, the power of inner calm is a reminder that we don't need to be swept away by the currents of external circumstances. Your calm is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to your strength, your emotional intelligence, and your ability to remain anchored in the face of life's challenges. By choosing to protect your peace, you choose to lead with presence, to act with purpose, and to remain steady when everything around you feels unsettled. You have the ability to decide what affects you and what doesn't. The message is clear. Your calm speaks louder than words ever could. It's a signal to the world that you are in control, that you are resilient, and that you are grounded in your own truth. It doesn't matter what others expect from you or how circumstances may try to push you off course. When you protect your peace and choose to remain calm, you become the stillness in the storm. This calm is a powerful message to both yourself and the world. You are not at the mercy of life's events. You have the strength to navigate through them with grace and wisdom. To choose to remain calm, not because the world is always calm, but because you understand that your inner peace is something that can never be taken away unless you let it. Let your calm be a message, one that speaks of inner strength, resilience, and the quiet power that comes from remaining grounded no matter what.